Webheads, there may not be a ton of books getting ready to come out on September 1st. However, I did find some that I'm looking forward to. Hey, all my webheads out there, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, I am your host, Mike Spider Slayer, always helping you make decisions of what comic books to buy. And today, guys, I'm bringing you my top 10 most anticipated comic books for September 1st, 2021. That's right, guys. Hopefully, this list helps you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And it's never too early to start that pull list for next week. So, guys, before we get started, if you want to become a member of my YouTube channel, Comic Book Corner 2.0, all you gotta do is just hit that join button right there on my home screen. It helps support the channel. It gives you, the watcher, the viewer, some perks out there as well. So guys, let's get started with this week's top 10 most anticipated, kicking it off with the hot seat. Now there is this fifth week looming over us. There's a lot of annuals and stuff, so it's kind of hard for me to find some books this week that would make the countdown, but here are mine. And the book that we're discussing on the hot seat today is Demon Days Curse Web Issue 1, done by Peach Momoko. Now, these books are very interesting. They're unique. They have a unique art style as well. And even though I enjoyed the first couple of issues of this, I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way and pick up this other one. I might. It just depends on what's at the comic book store. I could save the $4 or $5 that this one costs, right? And just buy something else. I could buy a back issue. I could, put that money towards a trade or something else. So it just depends what's at the shop that day if I'm going to buy it or not. Not saying that this is bad in any way. I think people might enjoy this story, but we'll see where it goes if I do pick it up. This one's 36 pages and this is $5. So the book that's on the rise, and I finally made my decision on these two books. There was Teen Titans Academy and their Suicide Squad. They kind of like intertwined with each other in the beginning, right? But at the end of the day, I dropped Teen Titans or Titans Academy and went with the Suicide Squad route, right? I felt that this was a more interesting story. I think it's got some humor between the characters in here, and I can see this maybe actually going other places, where the other one's just a complete jumbled mess, and it just drove me crazy reading it, waiting for it to get better. So this one is an annual, but this annual sounds interesting, and this has to do with Connor Kent. And it looks like he's going to be going into, I guess, a secret room in Task Force X, and he is going to find maybe a whole bunch of Superboy clones or something like that. So there's going to be something that really changes this character. So I'm really interested in this annual. Sometimes annuals don't mean anything, right? Nothing happens to them. There's just throwaway stories. But this sounds like something important. So I'm definitely going to check this one out. This one is 48 pages and this one's $6. Let's move on to number 10. And my number 10 most anticipated comic of this week goes to Savage Dragon issue 260. I may be one of 2 or 3 out there that still reads Savage Dragon. That has been going on since the days of Image Comics first started. But this book is very unique in its own way, as the book takes place in real time. And that's what makes this book so unique. Now, I feel like at times this book has lost its way. It's pushed the envelope way too far when it's come to maybe like on the pornographic side of things. Like there's certain things that are not needed in it, so it's not for a younger reader, which I think he just pushed it too far. But nevertheless, when that stuff is not in the book, we get to see some cool action scenes, some cool artwork, some unique characters, which I think is pretty good as well. And this time we have, by the character, the Mad Menace is coming to Toronto, and he seeks revenge against Malcolm Dragon. We haven't seen a book in a while. So yeah, this one's $4, and we'll see what happens with it. We move on to number 9. We have Captain Marvel issue 32. Now, I expressed how I have fallen off of Captain Marvel for a little bit because of my summer work, and I've been so busy that I have not read certain titles. But if this is a time to jump on Captain Marvel now, if you're thinking about it, this is the time to do it. This one is titled The Last of the Marvels Starts Here. So it looks like Captain Marvel is going to be doing battle against like dark Captain Marvels. I don't know. It sounds interesting. Kelly Thompson's writing it, and if you guys know this, Kelly Thompson's writing Black Widow. I tell you this all the time, and I think her writing is pretty good there. Her writing has been okay in Captain Marvel, so I think this story arc could have something, you know, in store for Carol Danvers, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. Checking it out. Captain Marvel issue 32. Legacy numbering 166. $4. Now, you're going to be surprised at this one. It's just because I want to see where it goes and how bad it could actually be, or maybe surprise me. Number 8 goes to the Avengers issue 48. World War She-Hulk Part 3, World War She-Hulk continues. So in the last issue of the Avengers, we've gotten to see Jennifer Walters be converted to a, which looks like Red Widow instead of a Black Widow, right? She now has red skin, as you can see on this cover, and she has blonde hair. Why does her hair change? I don't know. Maybe it's part of the transformation process, and she looks huge, and on the cover she's wearing this white suit and this weird facial expression, right? However, why I am anticipating this is because I want to know what this transformation has done to her as a character. Because in the last issue, we didn't hear her talk. We just heard her battle, she's destroying everybody. And I want to see what it does to her as a character. And what also piques my interest is if you saw my November solicitations video, okay, Jennifer Walters is on the Fantastic Four cover as classic Jennifer Walters. Lawyer outfit, she's green, she's lean, and it's a current story. So does she eventually go back to the Jennifer Walters that we all know and prefer? I don't know. We'll see what happens with Avengers, but she's doing a battle against Gorilla Man in this issue. So this one's 28 pages and this one's $4. Coming in at number 7, very curious about this story as well. This is Green Lantern 2021 Annual. Jessica Cruz is the Yellow Lantern. So in Green Lantern Future State, we saw Jessica Cruz come across a yellow ring, and she has become a Yellow Lantern because she's overcome great fear, right? And now on the cover here of this annual, we get to see her holding Hal Jordan by, you know, the neck sleeve here, and she's like doing battle against him. I'm very curious to see what's in store for Jessica Cruz. I'm not sure if DC knows what to really do with the character. They made her super powerful at one point in the, what was the series that she was just in? Oh, it was some Justice League book or something like that. I forgot what it is, but she was like, she died and then she came back to life, and her ring was super powerful. I totally forgot, but that was cool. And now Future State says she's going to be a Yellow Lantern, and here she is a Yellow Lantern. So I don't know what this story has, but I'm curious to see. I really love the character. I love how she has full of anxiety and she has to deal with that situation. And 48 pages, $6. Looking forward to it. We move on to number 6. We have Firepower. This is issue 15. The Serpent's Omen takes hold. Owen has no choice but to fight back. Will the firepower be enough? Maybe. Who knows? I guess we're just going to have to read. Always a great book. It's a very grounded book. We get to see Owen's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend come into play at the end of the last page, and his wife's like, "You didn't tell me that your ex-girlfriend was alive." And now it's him, his wife, his ex-girlfriend are there. The kids are starting to learn the lost art of firepower. They're doing a battle against like this person that turns into snakes and stuff and takes over people's minds. Really cool, man. It's a great book. Love it. Robert Kirkman's doing a great job. $4 comic book. Number 5, and this is always right now in the middle of the road because it's so unpredictable for me. Sinister War issue 4. This is the conclusion, okay? So just now in the most recent issue of Sinister War, in issue 3, we feel that Peter is desperate. He is trying to escape. He's trying to elude his enemies. He's trying to do whatever it takes to survive. And that's what Spider-Man's been missing all this time, right? Nothing feels like it was a challenge for Peter until this last very second right now, okay? In the description, this book says, things just got worse for Spider-Man. It didn't seem possible, but it's true. If you think you have Spider-Man, take a beating. You haven't seen anything this brutal. Now, in this series so far, besides the Kindred issues where we got to see him kill Peter over and over again, in this event, we haven't seen really Peter take that beating. You get to see him, dealing with blood loss, and things like that, but you haven't seen him really get that punishment. So I'm very curious in this issue if we're going to see him really get punished and beaten and getting to the brink of where he's, about dead. We're going to see, because this concludes it here. And within the next couple months, we're going to get the return of Ben Reilly. So we'll see how that whole thing turns out there. 28 pages, $5. I'm surprised it's only 28 pages and it's $5. I think it needs to be more pages for $5. Next, coming in at number 4, highly anticipated event, I feel, for Bat fans, we have Fear State Alpha issue 1. This is the event over a year in the making that begins now. Hasn't been that long, right? We had like the Joker War, and it basically just led up to this thing. I mean, a year is not that long. It's only like 12 issues, right? So Fear State settles upon Gotham City, and no one is safe. Overwhelmed by the dual threats of the Scarecrow and the Peacekeeper 1, Batman and his allies have been one step behind since the events of Infinite Frontier issue 0. And with the arrival of a mysterious anti-Oracle and the return of Poison Ivy, Batman might have more than he can handle. So you guys on board with this Fear State event? Or are you just sitting there going, well, maybe I'm just done with Tynion's run on Batman and I just want to see who the next creator is? So let me know in the comments below what you feel about Batman right now. Of course, I'll be checking it out. I want to see what this Fear State has to offer. But the one thing I am over is all this Future State stuff and Peacekeeper stuff. I am kind of over all that. All right, so this one's 40 pages, and this one is $5. So 40 pages, $5. Spider-Man's 28 pages, $5. But then you get that backup story, I'm sure, right? Now we move on to the top 3. And number 3 goes to Dark Ages issue 1. This is Tom Taylor's book that was supposed to come out, I think, last November, and it's finally coming out. And this is the event where an IMP happens, and then it like basically cut Tony Stark's leg off, and then he crashes into a building. So like all of the world, I think, goes into this dark age, and our heroes have to figure out a way to survive in this. So I'm looking forward to this event because I'm always a huge fan of apocalyptic situations, like how the Earth deals with the situations and also the Earth crumbling in apocalyptic situation. So I love that. That might make me a little bit of a dark person, but I love seeing that situation happen. And then as the story goes along, how the heroes prevail, right? So I'm looking forward to it. 36 pages, $5. I think this is the first work from Tom Taylor in a little while here. Move on to number 2, a book that seems to always get higher and higher on my countdown, and that's GEIGER issue 6. This marks the end of a story arc. We got to see GEIGER and those kids find a kind of a safe place and a place where civilization can live in this radioactive world. We found out that one of the kids is healthy, one of the kids has leukemia, and if the kids aren't healthy or if people are not healthy, they basically put them somewhere else to die. And we find that out, and now they're trying to escape again. Very interesting. Now, the other thing that really piques my interest here, and I heard this like as a rumor, but I didn't know that this was true, because this is the last issue of a story arc, and then there's a special sneak preview of Jeff Johns and Gary Frank's next upcoming title in the GEIGER verse. So that means there's going to be more than one title when it comes to GEIGER. So I am very curious, like, how many books are going to be coming out in the GEIGER verse. So yeah, $5 for this book. I'm totally excited about it. My number one most anticipated comic book of the week goes to, of course, Spawn issue 321. Everything that's coming out with Spawn these days, I'm really excited about. You know, we got King Spawn getting ready to come out this current comic book week. Next week we got Spawn issue 321, and the great thing about this book is it's always so action-packed. The artwork is gorgeous, and of course the price point is only $2.99. When King Spawn comes out, it is going to be $5.99 for the first issue, but the ongoing issues will be $2.99 as well. So you can't beat the price. So pick it up, support that price point, guys, because hopefully maybe other comic book companies will eventually follow that suit, but I highly doubt it. But here is the description when it comes to Spawn. A small city loses its electrical power. When it's restored, every resident of the city has disappeared. Spawn begins a hunt to find them. A twist ending awaits him, and an enemy that he thought was forever gone. So there's going to be someone that comes back that we have not seen in a long time, and that gets me super excited. Guys, $2.99, like I said. So there you guys have it. There are my top 10 most anticipated comic books for September 1st, 2021. Again, guys, hopefully you took notes on which comic books to buy. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss anything from me. And if you like my content, I'm going to leave you a video here and then a video down here. And of course, guys, click on that to check out all that other content. So until next time, guys, keep buying those comics, keep reading those comics, keep collecting those books, and guys, I'll see you in that next video.